So, folks, in this episode, we dive into the world of virtual experiences with Piyush Gupta, the visionary CEO of Vosmos. Piyush shares his journey from transforming Keystone into a MarTech powerhouse to creating Vosmos, a cutting-edge platform revolutionizing customer interactions in the metaverse. In this episode, discover the challenges and triumphs of launching a tech startup during a pandemic and get inspired by Piyush's insights on leveraging AI, data science, and innovative strategies to achieve exponential growth. And as we prepare to delve into our conversation on the topic at hand, venturing into the metaverse, Piyush Gupta on innovating MarTech with Vosmos. Here's an exciting twist as always. First, let us tickle our guest's brain. So, Piyush, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few. And I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you're ready, let's get started.
Wow, that's scary. But yeah, let's get started. I mean,
Okay, comes my first word visionary.
it's an exciting thing to do if you're able to vision how things are going to shape up in future. So keeps me going.
Curiosity.
Good must have for our children. An entrepreneur should be careful about it.
Invention.
So for me, the biggest invention has been an aeroplane because it always fascinates me. So whenever I hear invention, aeroplane comes in first in my mind because I think it's something which has created a big impact in our daily life.
Yeah, agreed. Future.
Oh, the less we know, the better it is.
Interesting perspective. Okay, here's the next word book.
I love buying books. I I read the it fascinates me. There's a dream that I should have one bookstore somewhere sometime in life. But I buy a lot of books. I don't read enough, but one of the favorite ones would be The Art of Thinking Clearly. I think it's
Mm,
beautiful.
super. Movie.
I am a movie buff. I can binge watch the entire day. The kind of movies that I like is Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara kind of a thing,
Yeah.
or The Die Hard, or I'm a big Iron Man fan. So yeah, that's movies for me.
Interesting. And entrepreneurship.
You want a short answer for it? That's difficult, but I think every youngster should go through it. In early in age, I think it's beautiful. It realizes who you are, and it pushes you to do things which you're not comfortable, but you eventually the kind of satisfaction it gives is phenomenal. So I think
Yeah,
there should be more and more entrepreneurs coming out on a daily basis.
got it. Universe.
Infinite. I just that
Leadership.
a lot of responsibility. I think we all want to become managers and we want to become leaders, but one should understand that it comes with a lot of responsibilities. Absolutely.
Conquer with you. And here comes the next one. Role model.
I'll say models, but yeah, for different facets of life, I'm inspired by what Steve Jobs did in his time, Jack Ma did for the Alibaba piece of it, in with all the restrictions, right? And I'm a big sportsman, so I like follow Dhoni big time and Roger Federer. These are the four which I would love to meet, follow. Obviously, meet is a different thing, but just follow their journey every time. It's just been beautiful to see how they've changed the world around them.
Got it. And the last word is success.
We all want it, right? We all try for it. For me, the definition of success has been always that can I create something which can create a larger impact and help more people succeed along with me. I think that's the satisfaction it gives me. I've seen do large numbers and all that. Those don't give that kind of satisfaction when I've seen people around me work along with me, succeed together. I think that's success for me at least.
And Piyush, I loved your responses and also the bookshelf behind you. All right.
Thank
So,
you so much.
thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round. And when I say first, you heard it right. There is one more rapid
Oh
fire round
God.
toward the end of the episode. So I'm going to tickle again.
Can I exit before that?
Not really. Once you are here, you are in my terms.
I know.
All right. So, Piyush, before I welcome you formally to the show, let me welcome the audience. So, folks, you have tuned into TGV, and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host Naveen Samala, the world's only quadrilingual podcast which is available in English, Hindi, Telugu, and Kannada. And we are dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also to your career and one conversation at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Piyush, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm already stressed, Naveen, with the rapid fire that's happened. But thank you for having me here. I think phenomenal podcast that you've built so far, and yeah, I look forward to less stressful conversations with Naveen.
I bet it will be a smooth ride from now on. Okay. All right. So let's get the ball rolling. So we'll begin with your journey in the MarTech space and what led you to become the CEO of Vosmos.
Like I said, less future, I know it is better. So I was not aware that I'll become a CEO of Osmos or Osmos would exist when I got into the market space. But, been in the marketing space for a very long time, right? And seen the space evolve. Was working with some of the largest brands from the other side of it and seeing the brands evolve and how they think. So during that journey, we realized technology is going to play a big role in marketing space. So, and uh, digital had come in by that time, right? And we had set up a digital arm internally, and we saw how digital was changing. So then we said, okay, let's start shifting towards building tech which can make marketing a lot more easy. And that's where the journey of MarTech started. And and it while it looks very fancy at this point of time, honestly, when we started off, we had two failed products initially. We had a couple of people who joined us to work on tech. We started building it. We built first one and said, no, this is not going to work, let's move to something else. And we did something else, and then we built an app which could make on-site event much easier and faster and better. And we also say in entrepreneurship, timing has to be right. uh, we got that right at the end of 2019, right? Went to US, showed people, they said, yeah, nice product, came back, and COVID hit. Physical events were shut. so uh, so those things have gone through this journey. And then and after that, the virtual event journey started. And we created that in 2020. We had started off a little early, but obviously when COVID hit us, we were not sure how things will shape up as an entrepreneur or as someone running an organization, trying to figure out what should we do, because if we don't do anything, 40% of our organization would have had to move out because of the physical stuff that we were in. And that is when it further pushed us in the marketing technology space, because said, okay, if everything is going online, what role we can play, and and that's when we built the whole virtual event platform, which was the first in the country, and that made us feel proud when we launched it, on 4th of May 2020. That's one date I don't think I can never forget in life. But and we educated a lot of people. I think that's the other fascinating journey that came in when it was new for a lot of people. In India and outside, we would be giving demos at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. The amount of coffees I had during that time, I can't tell you how much it's been there. But that's what was more exciting, right? After every conversation, would say, "Wow, the product looks amazing," right? So that's how the MarTech journey kind of got initiated. Got to a certain level, and then we kept building on it. And Vosmos was not a brand that time, because we were not sure how big it will become. It was all under the Keystone name, but then we realized it's all shaping up. We need to create another brand out of it, and Vosmos happened. And here I am talking to you, as someone leading that space. So, that's how, in a nutshell, the journey has been in the space.
That's amazing, and congratulations on the success of your venture. And one thing that actually stuck me is you said you guys have had two failed products before this was successful, right? So I want to reiterate to the TGV family and the community out there, guys. So we will not be able to be successful at the first attempt. It may take any number of attempts, but we have to be persistent, right? So this is a perfect example out there. And Piyush, your journey is really inspiring, and I would like to understand your success mantra. So please share with our audience top three things that have attributed to your success so far.
Difficult to pick, but what's been good for me personally is, as an individual, I've kept looking what next. That quote from Goldsmith, which is there, what has got you here will not get you there. I think that's something which has been close to heart, and I live by it on a daily basis. That, okay, we've come here, what next? That's one thing which has helped. The second thing is, I've been lucky that we've had right people. I always believed, and I've also executed it, is to have people who are better than me under me. Then my life becomes much easier. And fortunately, while I've managed to get that, for some reason they believe in the dream, or the vision that is there. That's a lot of responsibility, right?
Yeah.
When someone tells you, what, I'm here because I believe in the vision that you have. Oh my God, that's stressful. But I think that's something which has worked well for me. And the third thing is listening, which is there.
Yeah.
Being aware, right? Listening to your customers, your partners, employees, friends, everything. So keep, you are picking it up. That, okay, what is the trend? What people are talking about? What is the customer looking at? Right? I think that helped. In fact, our first product also came out, because a customer gave us, called and said, what, we are using a product like this, but it is very expensive. It's from the internet global market, and it's very complicated. Can you build something?
Hmm.
For us, it's new domain. We could have just left it and said, sorry, you can go to someone else and build it. We listened, and then we created that, right? So I think those are three things which worked for me individually so far.
So amazing. One thing that again caught my attention is about what next, right? So you're not satisfied with your achievement and you're always aiming for next thing. And how do we be different? And other aspect which I like the most is about paying attention to customers' voices and people around and having that particular curiosity quotient. Probably that might be distinguishing you from rest of your competitors if at all they are existing. And on that note, let's move to the my next question. It is more around the toughest lessons that you have learned in your entrepreneurial journey, wherein you might have thought, "Arey, why the hell did I start this, man?"
Oh my God. So this whole self-doubt, right? Earlier when it used to come in, the question was, okay, should, are we in the right space? Are we doing the right thing? And then, and then you further go deeper and say, oh my God, maybe we shut it down. I realized was one of the lessons was that, self-doubt is okay. It keeps you, aware of how things are. It pushes you more. It kind of, wants you to kind of do better. So I've had people come and ask, what, I'm not sure whether we're doing okay or not. I said, that's a good thing. Don't worry about it. Let's keep questioning it, right? It takes, that's one. And connected to it is that, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is a journey. It is not an overnight success. We all look at, the whole year and a half before was the unicorn year, right? Everyone was talking about, so many unicorns coming out, and then everyone started with the mindset, what, I'll also become a unicorn.
Yeah.
And you still till date, in my, I get questions. They say, when are you becoming a unicorn? And I like, okay, that's a journey. We will get there, but I'm not looking at it right now. So as an entrepreneur, it's very important that believe in what you're doing and continue to do it.
Hmm.
And you should do it for a long time. You'll find that you'll be successful. I think these are some of the tougher ones which are there. Being focused is another thing. When we are in the new space, look at us. We are in the virtual immersive space, making, our online world beautiful, from
Yeah.
making it from 2D to 3D. Right? Every time we show to someone, there is a feedback that comes in. There is a question that comes in. There is a suggestion that will come in. Right? Now, what one direction that we did earlier was, oh, you know what? Let's try working on everything that comes in, and every feedback that comes in, and do it. Then I realized it's not going to work because everyone thinks differently, right?
Yeah.
So then being focused, having a direction, became very important,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So these are some of those ones which we've made mistakes, learned it, and then now have that has become part of our DNA. That these are things which as individuals, as organization, we are like very clear how we want to drive it. But it is a tough journey being an entrepreneur. It's not easy.
I got it. So one need to have that conviction and be focused. So that is in a nutshell. If I were to summarize based on the points that you have mentioned.
Just to add to it, right?
Yeah.
Because if there are entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs listening, right? I read a very good quote recently that a lot of times we've been told that get your market fit, get your market fit.
Yeah.
Times it takes time to get a market fit. Don't worry about it,
Yeah.
right? And don't rush to get an investor because then there's a different challenge that comes in, right? So, stay away from the outside money. Do whatever you have,
Right.
you know, your business profitable. I think that's there. That's just wanted to add to this piece of it.
No, absolutely. I loved it because especially if you're focusing on getting the investors, it is unnecessary overhead. Like they might change your direction as well, and don't think about getting that press coverage or whatever because these days it has become a fancy thing. Wherein okay, you have
I
raised
know.
$200 million or whatever it is, but at what cost, guys? You are losing autonomy. Come on, focus on that.
Absolutely. So much agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So Piyush, now let's double click on the challenges that you guys have faced, okay, during the pandemic time because Vosmos emerged during the pandemic and solidified in 2021, right? So, what are some key challenges you faced in launching and scaling Vosmos, okay, during such a tumultuous time? Because most businesses have exited during that particular time, right? And people, no, even none of us had clarity whether this pandemic is going to end or is it end of the world and all. But you guys have emerged successful. So, what kind of challenges have you overcome, and how did you overcome them?
it, it it's been, when I now look back, it was a beautiful journey. But during that time, imagine, like, and I'll take a little while to explain this. Imagine a
Yeah.
situation where 40% of our business was physical, right? If
Mhm.
world shuts down, that business
Mm.
shuts down,
Yeah.
right? And Feb, March, and things started shutting down. And because we work with some of the largest global brands, they started saying that what, now we can't do this, it's just shut. And when we realized that, we were like, okay, what next? How will we survive? Do we ask that many number of people to move out? Because how do we deal with it, right? So that was one mindset to work around. Are we going to give up and say nothing is happening, let's slow down, or do we fight back? So that's when that step happened, that no, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Let's give ourselves 3 to 6 months and see where we land, and then we'll take call, right? That's it. That was one tough thing to do, is not to kind of give up and then be ready to fight.
Mhm.
Then when we decided to fight, they said, okay, let's build that product which we were building earlier, but accelerate it, the whole virtual event part of it. Now that, look at it, we are building something with a belief that this is going to work, but something which is not actually ready or present in the world. There are hardly people who use virtual event platforms before that, right? So that was one thing, that okay, if you're doing it, is it okay?
Yeah.
Will people be willing to pay for it, right? So that was the other challenge that came in, to kind of motivate everyone to say, don't worry, it's going to work. Everyone is going through a certain kind of stress, people
Right.
falling, not sure whether jobs are going to be there, all sitting at home, not used to being sitting at home. It was that kind of a thing. And then to kind of motivate people to believe that, what, let's go all in. Let's make sure this works out, right? And then see what happens after that. And that was the other tough challenge for us. And then we were not used to working from home, right?
Mm.
So everyone was, at different places working, and we're not sure, infrastructure was not available at home for everyone to be working, right? Not everyone has Wi-Fi at home. Now it's become a norm, but not really, right? That time. So for people to be, available, working from home, getting those infrastructure in place, that was the other kind of challenge that came in.
Mhm.
Then believing in each other. And you know what? See, when we're sitting in office, right? We're
Yeah.
sitting with each other, and when you're sitting at home, we don't know who's working, who's not, right? So that trust factor also came in a big way. That okay, we need to trust. Don't worry, work will happen. So things like that. And the last thing, which was the toughest, was the IT team saying it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in the time we're looking at, right? And I am pushing and saying, it has to happen in this time frame. Let's do whatever possible.
Mm.
You know, even if you don't have to, if we spend a lot of nights, sleepless nights, lot of it, and I'm glad we did it. You know, as a team, we did it, right? And when we got it out, and we started, when the first check came in, oh, the you know, we started believing that we built something which was going to last for long,
Yeah.
and not just then, right? Look at it this way, and I just take virtual event as the thing, right? Obviously, after that, things started settling down. We did a, you know, in fact, we did more profit that year than previous years, because, you know, technology product, your margins are higher. So even if your
Yeah.
revenue is significantly lower, so it did that, right? And then things have gone down further from a virtual event point of view. But a lot of people, organizations shut down. We've continued to do, right? We've continued to build, evolve, you know, and be in the journey. That whole thing that I mentioned, right? Being in the journey, you know, it will go up, it will go down, tough times will happen. But I think being in the journey is what we've learned, that be there, you know, and when the curve again goes up, you'll be at the forefront of it. And
Yeah.
that's how we've learned in these, you know, these 3 4 years, which has been, you know, life changing.
That's amazing. And I actually, you made me recollect those nostalgic memories of how people have struggled during that pandemic time, and we were all sitting at home. And I'm glad that you guys have successfully navigated. And again, kudos to you guys in terms of getting that first check, and also and also getting profitable, right? So before I move to the next question, here is a test of my intuition. And what does this Vosmos stand for? Is it virtual cosmos? Is my understanding correct? I didn't do any research.
Bang on, yeah, bang on. I'm glad you said that. Yes, it's actual virtual
Is it? Wow,
cosmos.
pat on the back. Because I was just
Yes,
thinking metaverse and then cosmos. Okay, virtual cosmos could be, right. So that is where, and I thought,
yes.
let me ask you. Super.
Actually, that's what it is. You bang on. And the tagline says, giving every business a virtual address.
Wow, super. Okay, now let's talk about the technology part. So, Vosmos integrates this design and technology to craft customizable and scalable virtual experiences, right? So, you guys have to really stay ahead in the innovation game, right? And how do you approach innovation and stay ahead in a rapidly evolving industry, right? And you never know, competition might come from anywhere. So, what's your take on
Yeah, competition can come from anywhere. You're right.
that?
So, so far it's been okay. But I think the same principles apply here also. What next, right? We continue to keep looking at what next. We have a cycle and saying, you know, once the product is ready, there's a team which focuses on taking it to go to market. Then there is another team which starts focusing on, you know, what are we looking at, right? How do we kind of make sure that this is the best product one comes across?
Yeah.
Then the other thing is, we believe that we can't make everything. There is a core that is ours, you know, which includes, you know, the design, the concept, the UI, you know, the how the customer experiences the product, a lot of data, a lot of intelligence. That's ours, right? But then there are a lot of other products which are, you know, every day being built in, right, which can be integrated with ours and make the product, you know, far better, right? So that's the other thing we do, right? We don't want to create everything, right? We have our core, our strength that continues to be what it is, right? But then we integrate a lot of other things on a regular basis, and then there's a phenomenal work happening in that space, and there's a team which continues to learn, you know, and work with global players in that space to get their work done. Because there are a lot, while as an organization, what we've done is we've built something which is much bigger, right? It's not just a small piece in the puzzle, but significantly lasting. In now, because we've built it, there are a lot of organizations who are doing very very small pieces, but very focused, doing brilliant work. So that's the other thing that comes in when we integrate it. So I think
Mhm.
these two continue to keep us doing it, and third is the listening part of it, which I keep
Yeah.
telling, like,
Mhm.
keep listening. What's
Mhm.
happening? Telling
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
Pick up, you know, list down things, and then we, you know, say, okay, you know what, this seems interesting. Let's
Yeah.
add it in our product. So yeah, it's just simple, nothing complicated.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we think innovation is complicated, which is actually not. It is, you know, do the right things and it'll work.
Yeah. I see that you guys are inculcating this continuous improvement coupled with innovation that is making you stay ahead of your competition. So, which is great. So Piyush, now let's talk about the technology part of it, right? So you have been a seasoned marketing professional, and how have you leveraged this data science, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing to revolutionize this MarTech industry through Cosmos?
Your questions are getting tougher, by the way. But interesting one. So see, we are look at the base, right? We're saying we make 2D world into a 3D world, which means that we need a lot of data consumption automatically, right? A lot of computing power because people if you don't have good internet, then even having a basic 2D website content consumption is difficult, right? How do you do a 3D world, right? So one thing that we're doing is, we're making sure everything we're building, right, can be consumed on a mobile device, right? You have a bigger screen, it is better, but that's it. And hence a lot of work is happening on the cloud computing piece of it, right? How do we make it easier? How do we make it simpler? Thankfully, organizations like AWS and others are helping us, simplify things and make things easier for people to consume. So that's that piece of it. Now come to the whole AI data science part of it. Right? Again, a journey. It's been
Yeah.
3.5 years we've been on it, right? Zero revenue from a direct point of view. Look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we've done is we've learned so much in these 3.5 years in the data science part of it and the AI implementation part of it that now we are ready. Now everything we are doing, there is an intelligence component that is getting added to it. For example, in the virtual event space, we will probably be the first smart bot for the virtual event platform that globally that anyone has built. Right? It's called or she's called Versa. And what we've done is we've so far on our platform about 1 million people would have consumed content across these 4 years or so. So we've taken that data, obviously keeping the data privacy guidelines in place, and had the bot learn the behaviors of people on the platform, right? At what level, what do you want to do? Where do you want to, what kind of content you want to consume? Whom do you want to interact with? And so on and so forth. So what we've done is, this is that piece of it. The bot does, if suppose Naveen logs onto the platform, the bot will profile Naveen. Once profiling is done, will tell you that, what, these are the sessions that you should attend. Listen, she will read all the documents, all the PDFs, all the words, everything she will read. And basis that, she'll tell you these are the top few documents that basis who you are, you should download,
Wow.
right? She will she will match you with people whom you should network with. See, in the physical world, you see and you try networking. How do you do it in the virtual world, right? So she'll do it for you. And then if there are sessions that you're not able to attend, she using NLP and speech to text tech. What we're doing is we are converting that into smart notes. Every session that a speaker is taking, it gets converted into smart notes and sent across, right? So that's one example that is there from a bot point of view, right? And there are other things that are getting built, but there is a significant amount of work that's happening using AI and tech. And what we believe is, and that's again our learning, right, is we can make it smarter and better. Give you another example using the whole Gen AI concept, right? And and some of the other NLP driven tech. What we managed to build is we work on a concept called experiential commerce, right? So we heard about e-commerce, we
Yeah.
heard about quick commerce. What I believe is the world has to move towards experiential commerce, because otherwise the brand is not, you don't connect with the brand anymore because you just go buy, move out, right? The experiential commerce, what we are building is that we build virtual store. You go in a virtual store, you get your friends to be part of it, right? It's an immersive way. You are having an avatar, you're walking in, your friends are walking in along with you. There is a customer executive who's also walking along with you, having a voice conversation, which is there. If required, a video is possible, right? Looking at the product, using AR, even trying it, and then then deciding to buy it, right? That's look at the world that way, right? So that's what AI is doing for us. And it honestly, it was not that we are eh, brilliant at it or so. If AI was not there, we wouldn't have been able to deliver something like this, right? and this is ready, and we'll be launching it very soon, right? Imagine that kind of a space, right? So yeah, it's fascinating, just fascinating to see
Yeah.
how AI is. Well,
It is super nice to imagine that experiential commerce, and you have virtually immersed me there already, as if I'm shopping along with my friends and all. And so before I move to the next question, why are you calling that bot as she but not he?
I think not being biased, but the bot does multiple things, and is intelligent, does multiple things at
Ah,
the same time,
uh,
right? And we at times we men are very slow in some of these things, so maybe that's why the it's named as she.
so
I hope I'm not short for this, but that's
no, love it. All the women out there and girls listening to it, guys. I think we need to take a move. Good one, Piyush. I love it. So, Piyush, you have several executive education programs under your belt, right? Under your belt. So, how important do you think this continuous learning and upskilling are for entrepreneurs? I know you have mentioned about continuous learning when I asked. It is one of your success mantras as well, and it is your team's philosophy as well. So, for the aspiring entrepreneurs, why do you think this continuous learning is important?
Yeah, because we don't know everything. Let's start with that.
Yep.
Even if it is our product, we don't know everything, because we might know about the product, we don't know, but we don't know how it's going to be used, who's going to use it, who's the competition, how's the world going to accept it. It's just not possible, right? So we have to start with that we don't know everything, right? That's it. The moment we start with that, which means that we need to know something, and then you find your own way of learning, right? So for example, my way of while I've done different programs just to get exposure to what people have to say, I learn from people. I learn. So I'm learning from what you are doing today, right? I learn from when people talk about it, of certain concepts or certain theories. So I learn from that. We all have our own way of learning, right? One should find out what is the best way that works for you, which sticks inside, and you can implement it. That's what it is. But I think books is another way to do it. People who have
Yeah.
put their years of experience into a 50-page book or a 100-page book, right? If you pick up those and start reading it, it just gives you a perspective of how others think, right? And something might just stick, which will help you to think differently. I think for me, that's worked. For example, I was recently listening to someone, and there is a very simple concept, which is like, what is important, not important, urgent, not urgent. Can you put everything in that each of these blocks, right, and decide what you need to do with it? I thought it was a very simple, brilliant concept, and have an action of what will you do in each block. If
Yep.
something is in this block important or urgent, I will do now. Something is important, but not urgent, I will do it in 48 hours. That you will have to decide what each block has to be done for, right? But I listened to someone, it made so much of sense. Now it's going to be part of my life, right? So I learn from individuals, I learn from books, right? And there's a problem with me. I don't want to do mistakes and learn. I want to learn from others' mistakes, right? So that's the thing. So I see others, I observe big time, and then say, okay, if I were to do it, how would I do it? And I do it. So I think everyone has their own learning style, but I don't think we can, like I said, you have to start with the base that I don't know everything, and then move up. It just works that way.
Love it. I think we need to learn from others' mistakes, and we don't have to repeat the same mistakes what others have done. And one thing that resonated well is, what would I do if I were in his shoes, right? That I think will differentiate us, and we can be highly proactive there. And on that note, I, Piyush, I'm telling you straight from my heart, it doesn't seem like as if it is a podcast interview. It is seeming as if I am talking to an old friend after a long time. And thank you for that. And after this incredible conversation, it's time for us to add some more spice and excitement to the episode. So if you are ready,
Oh
I'll
my
kick off this second rapid fire round. What do you say?
I'll just take a sip so that I'm ready.
Perfect. So let's get the ball rolling. Here comes the first bullet. And if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Oh my God. Anything, anywhere is what you're saying, huh?
Yeah. Could be Times Square also.
You know what? Generally, that's what comes first in mind, right? Anything, gigantic billboard, Times Square comes in mind. You know, a dream of having your, uh, band out there. But yeah, oh, I've never thought about it. But yeah, from what we've been doing, let's make your online world beautiful and intelligent. Making your online world beautiful and intelligent. Maybe that's about it.
Awesome. And what is one technology you can't live without?
I should not be saying this, but I think at this point of time, my phone becomes a key thing in my life. And as much as I want to push it out, it kind of keeps coming back to me. Is how it is. That's what it is. Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. My
Yeah.
phone, yes.
Yeah. And also internet, right? So the other day I was talking to a friend. I said, what would happen if the internet across the globe is shut down for 2 days? Imagine that situation.
Yeah, no, right, absolutely. But you know what? If it is planned shutdown, people will do something. People like
No,
me
it
will
is
still have some
unplanned.
content.
You don't know whether it.
You know, like for example, I'll always have some content on my phone to do something for sure,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't know, when next I'll take the flight. Where it's obviously a no internet zone,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think I'll get out of it honestly.
Yeah. Got it. And Piyush, can you describe yourself in just one word?
Complicated.
I don't think so.
I ask people about it.
Probably you are nice to be in this interview.
No,
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm bad. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I'm complicated.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it is.
I got it, and I was just kidding. And Piyush, can you describe yourself, your leadership style in just one word?
Empowering.
Superb.
Now,
Okay.
I was just adding to it that I prefer to let people run be in their own space and drive it the way they think rather than you know I driving it for them. So
Got it. And Piyush, what is one thing you wish you knew before starting Vosmos?
I don't think at the start of it, I would say I'm glad I didn't know what I didn't know,
Hmm.
right? Because that's what helped me start it.
Yeah.
If I knew, lot of time knowledge creates biases, right? I'm glad I did. I was where I was with that mind frame that we started off Osmos. Yes, during the journey, I would have wanted to do few things, which is maybe at times be a lot more focused or focus on one product rather than doing multiple things, have a stronger individual part of a team to drive a certain aspect. Those are different stuff, but at the start of it, I think it is I'm glad where I was, because if I knew how tech gets developed, maybe I wouldn't have started Vosmos at all. That, what, this is going to take 2 years, let's not even think about it, right? So yeah.
Good one. Loved it. And here comes the last bullet out of second rapid fire round. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
This is a little this is more from the past. Let's see how this future shapes up. But I've always dreamt of building a band for children.
Hmm.
A band where can be put on a small band right
Yeah.
here, put on the children, so that parents are not don't have a fear of losing their child. I think I've seen that fear a lot of times. So I've always thought that if I had the time and money, I would love to build something like that. Or I'm hoping that someone builds it and
Yeah.
builds it in a way that it is not expensive.
Yeah.
You know, very high on tech, and can be used by every child, every parent. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
something which I've dreamt of.
Yeah.
That's what.
No, I got it. That is innovative. I've seen similar stuff being displayed on
Possible.
Shark Tank India, right? In the
Cool.
smartwatch, and that guy, I don't remember the company, but those guys have come up with similar concept, but not exactly as what you said. Little bit of it. Yep, that's wonderful, and I thoroughly enjoyed the second rapid fire. Your responses are very creative, as similar to your first rapid fire round. And lastly, Piyush, what is one piece of advice or mantra that you live by other than continuous learning? Okay, other than continuous learning, which you would like to share with our young aspiring entrepreneurs?
See, every entrepreneur is unique, right? And what I have seen is, if one believes in what he or she is doing, right, and and be there for a long time, right? I think that's something I would say. Trust in yourself. You know your product better than
Yeah.
anyone else. You know why you got into it. It's your passion that which is driving it. Just make sure that you don't get disheartened, or lose your focus because someone else has come and said it's not going to work. I think the more someone says it's not going to work, you should believe that you're in a good space, right? If it is easy, then it is, then what's the point, right? Then someone else will be doing, right? So if people are saying that, what, it's not going to work, it's tough, it's going to be really difficult, means you're in the right space. Just continue to be in that space.
Good one. And I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. And thank you so much for being a guest on our show. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform?
Oh, there were a lot of bullets coming in. I had to dodge it and all that, but but it was. It's been fun. It's been honestly, it's been fun. To kind of, it helped me think differently. Honestly, I'll some of those words that you said, and I tried connecting it. It gave me a different perspective of how I'm looking at things. So I'm grateful that we did this.
Same here. And thank you once again, Piyush, for taking time out of your busy schedule and being part of our journey. And looking forward to hosting you again in future.
Anytime. I mean, all the best to you.
Thank you. And I wish you and the entire team at Vosmos all the very best, guys. Continue to innovate and continue to inspire the world. And I'm hoping one day I will experience very soon the experiential commerce that you guys are building. Thank you so much. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Superb. So, friends, that was our episode with Piyush Gupta, founder of Vosmos. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request for you. In case if you haven't already subscribed to our podcast, TGV, The Guiding Voice, please subscribe to us from wherever you have tuned in, because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes and you will miss all the fun in case if you're not subscribing, and you have a lot to learn while having fun. And folks, if you have enjoyed the conversation just like I did, please share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues or family members or whoever you think this particular episode will benefit and who might also like the Guiding Voice. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now let's hop into the trivia segment of today's episode. Vosmos is a platform built on MetaVerse, and it is leveraging a lot of technologies like artificial intelligence, data science, cloud computing, and so on. And I thought I would present you a few lesser known and funny facts about the metaverse. The first one is about virtual pets. Yes, virtual pets are a thing. And in the metaverse, you can adapt, train, and even compete with virtual pets. And these pets can range from realistic animals to fantastical creatures like dragons or aliens or dinosaurs. And imagine having a pet dragon that you can walk through virtual parks and train to perform tricks. Sounds amazing, isn't it? And second is about digital real estate agents. So, just like in the physical world, the metaverse has its own real estate agents who help people buy and sell virtual properties. And these agents can make quite a bit of virtual currency by brokering deals for primary spots in virtual worlds, such as beachfront property on a digital island or a penthouse in a cyber city. And third is about avatar fashion shows. The metaverse hosts virtual fashion shows where avatars strut down digital runways in outfits designed by real world fashion designers. And these shows can get quite competitive, with avatars sporting everything from high tech suits to outlandish costumes, proving that fashion knows no bounds and even in the virtual world. So these are the things I wanted to talk about metaverse, and I would like to hear from you. What are some exciting things that you have heard about metaverse, or what would you like to see in the metaverse? And in case if you are watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there, or if you have found this episode on some social media platform, you can comment there as well. So folks, thank you so much, and that's it for today. Thank you so much once again for being part of our awesome TGV family, and we would love to hear from you. So do not hesitate to share your ideas, feedback, topic recommendations, and most importantly, guest speaker suggestions either through our social media, or you can also email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, 4 as in digit 4 and let you as in letter 4, and let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host Naveen Samala, the host of world's only quadrilingual podcast at the time of recording this episode, and I'm a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life but also your career. And until next time, Take care, stay inspired, and remember the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Bye bye.